Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. As you know, if you are new to the channel, if you don't know, I've been sharing my experience here with the 23 Chevy Colorado Trail Boss. Recently at 23,000 miles, I had a valve body failure. And of course, I'm like hyper cautious now of what I'm listening to. And I just want to share a few things that I found with the new valve body. And if we're just at stage one again, like the old valve body. So let's talk about it. All right guys, so let's just chat about the 23 Colorado. Got the Turbo Max update in this a while ago, but let's talk about this valve body that they put in. So ever since they put it back in, for the first week, I would say we had no issues. I'm not saying there's issues now, but we'll talk about it. We're gonna explain. I'm gonna break this down. So shifting was super smooth like butter, like the 25 Colorado I drove, really smooth, no issues. But after about maybe 100 miles, we started getting that cold, nasty shift from first to second again. And you know, Chevy says it's normal. Everyone that I've ever talked to, I'd say maybe 90% of people have an issue with the Colorados, no matter the generation, shifting hard from first to second when it's cold. Now, I think it's garbage and it shouldn't do that. So I'm like really cautious when I feel something funny. In this, I'm running no mods to the shift. So I'm not running my banks right now or nothing like that. This is just straight up new valve body Colorado, and I would have to say that it's back to where we were. It's running just like it used to. So cold shifting, you know, you know when you come up to a stop and if you don't stop right away, it kind of jerks you forward. We got that again. So I guess if this was a new and updated valve body, it didn't fix anything. It's the same thing Chevy's been putting in it. I don't notice any different from the old one to this one, other than the old one failed at 23,000 miles. And now I have to gauge if this one is going to do the same thing. Now, as far as everyone watching, comment below, are you guys having issues with your transmissions? Whether it's the transmission, the valve body, which is attached to the transmission, which is the valve body seals inside of that. As you know, this is a sealed transmission. From my understanding, it's a sealed transmission, right? So once they crack this open, I've been told there could be a slew of issues, right? Unless you replace the whole thing. So I've talked to quite a few people who have told me, you know, that they've had a lot of issues with theirs, including all the way up onto the premium models, ZR2 Bison, right? Because they're all the same thing with just some more goodies added on for a crazy expensive price, right? For the Bison. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to let y'all know that even though they fixed this, right? You know, and I'm very grateful that they covered the warranty, you know, as they should. I think that I question its reliability now, and that may be one of those determining factors that brings me out of the market on a Chevy. You know, Chevy nailed this model. I mean, this thing looks so good. Granted, you know, I have it all prettied up and everything, right? But regardless of that, even on the Trail Boss model, y'all, like, to be honest with you, it's just a clean looking truck. Now, again, this has the basic interior. I've added a few knickknacks in here. Got the wolf box up here that I'll show you in a minute. You know, added some seat covers to protect the cloth seats, the resale value. I think as far as like the back seat, I like the seat covers here that I got. I have more than enough room. This one scooched back a little bit just because of the baby seat normally goes here, but we have more than enough room. And it's one of the larger ones in the industry for the back seat, especially if you got kiddos or a dog. Yeah, I guess I'm more concerned about reliability. So let's talk about some options. All right, guys. So you're me in this scenario, right? You got a kid, you got dog. You're possibly thinking of a second kid. I'm not saying we're gonna have one, but I'm just saying you got the possibility. Let's talk about reliability. Already showing signs, and we may not have any issues, but you run that risk, right? I got a year and a half left. We can keep it for the warranty in case anything does happen. We have put a little bit of money into it, some basic stuff. Honestly, there's not as much money as you guys would think on here. I got a lot of good deals on stuff. So let's talk about it. The new generation Tacoma, for me, to be honest with you, is having a lot of issues. I've read a lot of issues with them, with the iForce Maxes. I really like them. Some people haven't had any issues with the 2-liter, or I'm sorry, the 4-cylinder turbo. Some people have, so questionable, and I still think they're really expensive. The 3rd gen Tacoma, really nice looking, not very big though. Again, I'd be downgrading from the back seat size here with the 3rd gen, but it'll run forever. However, you have to compromise because you get the slower 6-speed transmission, if I believe I'm correct there. And they're underpowered, and they're just, and I get it, they're not meant for speed, but sometimes you want some get up and go, and where you don't want to have to put it right to the floor and just hope and pray that you get around somebody. I really need a pickup truck, so we're going to speak on behalf of the pickup trucks. You got the Nissan Frontier Pro 4X, not bad looking, not my favorite, not a Nissan guy. I know they don't have a lot of issues. I know they're running a 3-liter with a 3-point-something liter V6, right? So that's an option. But again, not that big, not a Nissan, really not a Nissan fan. Guys, just not a big fan. I know a lot of people don't have any issues with them, but you gotta get, if you're gonna buy something, you gotta get what you like. So let's jump over to the 4Runner. I'm sorry, not 4Runner, the Ford Ranger. Ford Ranger, so you got a couple options here. Ford Ranger Raptor. Ford Ranger looks great. Still think they're having a lot of issues with that 10-speed transmission that they're putting in them, because even the Ford Ranger Raptors, which is probably the trim I would go with, is having issues. I think Ford has a recall out on like all of their 10 speeds, which brings me to our full size Ford Raptor, right? The F-150 Raptor. Maybe find a used one. Most recent gen, so we don't have any cam phaser issues. What are your thoughts there? How about a Toyota Tundra, the 5.7 V8? I believe it's 5.7 V8 that they used, and heard nothing but good things. I think the last year they produced them was 2021, so again, finding a used one. Any thoughts on that? If I'm gonna go with something like that, I'd rather do like a Tundra, a Ranger Raptor, because I would really, if I'm gonna put the money somewhere, I would really like the longevity out of it and the power. So even I know a couple guys that have the Ford Ranger Raptor or Ford Raptors, and they really like them. And I think after the cam phaser issue, they got rid of it. I know a lot of guys that run the older the Tundras, and they run forever. Not going to talk about Nissan. So going into like a full-size Chevy pickup, once they put active fuel management in those Chevys, nothing but problems. So not sure I want to get into one of those. But you tell me, y'all, what have you all had good luck with? What have you read? There's so much information out there. I know not everyone has problems with everything, and I get that. But we want something that's going to be reliable, that we can put a little money into, we can wheel with it, and still be successful with our overland, like hybrid overlanding build. I still use this as a daily driver. I'm not looking to build a specific trail vehicle. I need it to be just like this, where I can drive it to work, I can have a little fun with it, we can go camping on the weekends, I can get the dog and the baby in there, and you know, we can do family stuff with it, because that's what we enjoy to do with our hobbies. So you guys, let me know. Throw a comment in there, and what's your recommendation? Cool, right? So I just want to show you guys this. So just before I get out of here and we're gonna close up this video, I just wanted to show you our recent mod, which is our Wolf Box. And this thing is so sweet, and I want to show you why, because of this. You see that? This is so cool. So we got our back cam, and then this is our underbody cam, y'all. Really cool. You can move it up and down, but the whole idea with this was so I can make sure my shock placements aren't dragging and my diff isn't dragging, and of course I'm not taking any damage here. My specific Chevy has all of the knickknacks in the cameras, and I didn't have that. So if you guys are looking for a dash cam, the Wolf Box is the way to go, especially if you want an underbody camera and you don't want to pay the crazy price that Chevy charges for these underbody cameras. You can use this, and it's way simple. All right, guys, so that's where I'm at with my Chevy transmission journey. I hope this was informational for you. I'd really love to have your input on what you do in my situation. Not saying the transmission's gonna fail, but I guess you just never know. Run to the warranty probably, and maybe look for a different option. Drop the vehicles that you think we should be looking at, especially that can fit, again, some kiddos, a dog, you know, a tent, and you know that we want to use this for off-road. We want to have fun with this. It needs to be capable. Okay, we can build it to be capable, but if it's out of the box capable, that would be even better. So thank you all for watching. I hope this was helpful. Hopefully you either learned something, took something away from the video, or you can give me some information, and that would be great, because that's what the four-wheel drive community is all about, is sharing our experiences so we can make each other better. So thank you again for watching. God bless, and y'all stay safe out there.